Duxbury, Massachusetts, a picture-perfect town outside Boston. White picket fences, good schools, a place people move to for their kids. On January 24th, 2023, inside one of those homes, 3 small children, 5-year-old Cora, 3-year-old Dawson, and 8-month-old Callan, were strangled to death. The person accused of killing them wasn't a stranger. It was their mother. And right now, in a courtroom just miles from where it happened, a jury is trying to answer one question. Was this a monstrous act of murder, or a mind completely broken by mental illness? Before any of this, Lindsay Clancy was, by every account, unremarkable in the best way. She worked as a labor and delivery nurse at Massachusetts General Hospital, one of the top hospitals in the country. Her job, literally, was helping bring babies safely into the world. Her husband, Patrick, worked at Microsoft. They had 3 young kids. Friends and family later described their home as full of toys, alphabet letters on the walls, cartoon characters, the home of parents who were, in their words, devoted. But behind that picture, something was unraveling. After the birth of her 3rd child in 2022, Lindsay began struggling, badly. Severe insomnia, depression, anxiety about returning to work. She did what we tell people to do when they're struggling. She asked for help. And here's where the case gets complicated, and where it stops being a simple story. Over about 4 months, Lindsay saw psychiatrists. She extended her maternity leave. She joined a specialized program for postpartum mental health. She even voluntarily admitted herself to a psychiatric hospital. In that time, court records show she was prescribed roughly 13 different medications, more than 30 prescriptions between September 2022 and January 2023. Multiple doses of Valium, Seroquel, Ativan, different prescribers, often without a full picture of what the others had already given her. Her lawyers now argue this was a system failure, that no single doctor was truly coordinating her care, and that instead of stabilizing her, the medications may have destabilized her further. 19 days after being discharged from the psychiatric hospital, Lindsay Clancy strangled her 3 children. She then tried to end her own life, cutting herself and jumping from a 2nd-story window. She survived. She did not walk away. Lindsay is now paralyzed from the waist down. Here's a question worth sitting with. Does how someone got sick change how responsible they are for what they did while sick? Let us know your take in the comments. On January 24th, 2023, Patrick Clancy left the house to run errands. He was gone for a matter of minutes. When he came home, he found his bedroom covered in blood. Then he found Lindsay, badly injured, and then his 3 children, unresponsive, in the basement. The jury has now heard the actual 911 call Patrick made that day. According to reporters in the courtroom, it runs about 7 minutes, and Lindsay reportedly sobbed as it was played back in court, more than 2 years later. Prosecutors don't dispute that Lindsay physically killed her children. Nobody in this trial disputes that. What's on trial is why, and whether the law says she can be held responsible for it. Lindsay Clancy has pleaded not guilty. Her defense, led by attorney Kevin Reddington, is what's known as an insanity defense, arguing she was in the grip of postpartum psychosis and that she heard a voice in her head ordering her to kill her children and then herself. Legally, they're arguing she should not be held criminally responsible for what happened. Prosecutors, led by Shannon Buckingham, are pushing back hard. Their argument, this was not a woman lost in psychosis. It was someone who, in their words, acted with intention. They want the jury focused on her actions that day, not on the broader debate about maternal mental health. Here's what makes this case so hard for a jury. Postpartum psychosis is real, and it's rare, affecting only about 1 to 2 out of every 1,000 women after childbirth. It's considered a genuine psychiatric emergency. But proving someone was in it, at the exact moment of a crime, months or years later, in a courtroom, that's an entirely different challenge. This is the debate splitting true crime communities right now. Is this a tragedy born from a broken mental health system, or is postpartum psychosis being used as a shield? Tell us where you land and why. We read every comment. Whatever the jury decides, this case has already forced a hard conversation. Lindsay and Patrick Clancy, before their divorce, actually filed a lawsuit together against several of her medical providers, alleging they failed to properly diagnose and treat her deteriorating condition before the tragedy. That lawsuit doesn't undo anything. Nothing could. But it's part of why this case has resonated so widely. It's not just a true crime story. It's a window into how the mental health system treats new mothers, and what happens when warning signs go unrecognized. 3 children are gone. A family has been destroyed in every possible direction. And a jury now carries the weight of deciding what justice even looks like here. This trial is ongoing, and we'll be following it closely. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because we'll be covering the verdict the moment it comes down. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Do you think Lindsay Clancy should be found not guilty by reason of insanity, or found guilty of murder? Comment your verdict below, and if you know someone who'd have strong opinions on this one, tag them or share this video. This is exactly the kind of case people need to talk through. Like this video if you want more case breakdowns like this one, and I'll see you in the next one.